You mean clip this on the guitar so you can play?
No. Well, there's going to be two, next year, 2024, there's going to be two large triathlon, middle and long distance triathlon series. Of course, there's an ITU series, there's a Super League series, but those have been exclusively ITU athletes. So someone like myself has virtually no potential or capacity to be able to compete on those series. But for us, now there is going to be the Ironman series, which is I think like $1.7 million worth of year-end bonus. It spans something like 18 races, combination of 70.3s and Ironmans. All of those have decent prize purses. You gain points for, I believe, 4 or 5 races, of which 3 can be Ironmans and 2 70.3s, something like that. And yeah, the winner of that series will make $200,000. And then, of course, if you won that series, you would probably have to win several races anyway. So, you know, you stand to make a very good living if you're the champion in that series, or a podium, or even a top 5 in that series. And then the other series is exclusively middle distance, the PTO series. Their distance, of course, is the 2K swim, the 80K bike to the 18K run. That series, I believe, is going to be something like 5 races scored, you know, 4 of your best races, and then the final, the grand final race. That's what creates your score. That series is a bit different than the Ironman series in that you sort of have like a sign-on bonus, a guaranteed bonus, which is based on world ranking, and then the races, each one is, you know, half-decent amount of prize money. Everyone gets money. Everyone gets paid all the way down to last place. And so that's basically a guaranteed income source, and you have a guaranteed amount, and then that will just go up based on how well you perform. So those are the 2 major series available for a middle or long distance athlete next year. For the most part, if you were going to try and win one of the series, I'd say it's pretty darn difficult. Maybe some of the younger guys, I'm not sure someone like myself could really realistically intend to do both series. So you're kind of having to make a decision if you really want to do your best. You could do kind of half-ass in both, but to do your best, just because it's a minimum, I believe, of 6 races in the PTO series or 5 races in the Ironman series. I mean, there's just no way you're going to have 11 peak performances next year with several Ironmans strung into there. So that's the state of middle and long distance triathlon next year. And so then that, you know, you kind of, if it is true that you want to do your best and that you can only sort of focus on one series, then you kind of got to make a decision, you know, which one do you want to focus on? And of course, you also can make the decision to focus on neither and just do whatever you want. That, of course, won't come with any guaranteed money, but, you know, that may very well be the plan of someone who in the end has the best performances of the year. You know, that's a pathway I could see I would have thought someone like Jan would have taken, you know, to say, I'm good on the guaranteed money, I'll just go win the ones that really matter to me. So that's kind of the situation that we're all in right now.
How are you feeling about it? Are you leaning one direction or the other? Are you in a rock and a hard place?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm in a rock and a hard place. I think I am fortunate in that, you know, I have good sponsors. You know, I've done well in the past. And so, you know, I think I have the freedom to kind of make the decision more based on what's best for me and less about, you know, how do I put food on the table? And of course, that's a reality for everyone. And so, you know, from my standpoint, I see either pathway that I choose to take, I think will be, you know, excellent for development, excellent for the mind. You know, the PTO series is extremely difficult for me. It is a longer swim than the 70.3. Most of them will be non-wetsuit. They're fairly technical swims with multi-loops. They have the best guys in the world who are, a lot of them are either in ITU currently or fresh out of ITU, so the takeout speed is insane. You know, the bike is shorter. They're in cities generally, so they're extremely technical. Also a strike for me. and then the run is off of that, and it is extremely fast if you want to win. And the reality is, the younger guys certainly, especially current crop ITU guys, I mean, they're focused on getting extremely fast, and they've not logged. I've got to be in the ballpark of 30 Ironmans, 30 or 40 Ironmans now at this stage, something like that. And so, man, that stuff definitely blunts speed over time. So, but there's those are kind of the cons. The pros of the PTO series is, well, they have amazing marketing, they have amazing media, and the pros of the PTO races is that it highlights every single one of my weaknesses. That is a pro. Certainly not a pro from wanting to make money and win races standpoint, but it is a pro from a development standpoint. A season on the PTO series there is no way that if you were able to withstand the potential beating that you'll take doing the PTO series as an athlete who wants to win, it's going to be very difficult. I virtually see no one who could win every race in that series. I don't care who you are, what your name is. I don't think anyone can win. It'll be much more like ITU. The con is that I'm 36 when that series starts. And so I don't have a ton of time left. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. Nothing in this career is guaranteed. I don't have a ton of time left. So, guys who I train with, younger guys who I train with who need to improve their swim, this is a no-brainer. You get some guaranteed income, and you get to go get your face beaten in by the top, probably a lot of the top ITU guys will be in the second half of the season after the Olympics in those races. You should take the opportunity to go get your face beaten in and grow from that. In my case, I don't know if I've done that already. On the other hand, we have the Ironman series. Well, I know the Ironman, I know that quite well. I think I have so many great data points in Ironman. I've led the Kona World Championship for nearly 20 miles of the run, so I know, yes, the sport has progressed, but I do know what it takes to get to the front of the Ironman World Champs, and I know what it takes to lead the Ironman World Champs and fail with 3 miles to go to achieve, my life goal. So I have that as a data point. I have a data point going toe-to-toe with our current Ironman Kona World Champion, Gustav Eden in Florida. He's only done 2 Ironmans. I got to go toe-to-toe with him. I swam on his feet. I led most of the bike, and I ran side-by-side with him for 17 miles. So I also have a data point of that. I also have a data point of what it takes to come off the bike in St. George Ironman World Champs with Christian Blumenfeld, who is also, one of the top seeds. Now, I didn't try to go for the win whatsoever. I had just relinquished to mediocrity that entire race. But I do know what it would have taken to at least be in a situation to fight for the win. So I have, tons of data points. I believe I've shot myself in the foot a million times in Ironmans, in the sense of, last 2 years ago when I did my little Ironman block, I did 6 Ironmans in 11 months. And, I think if you do 6 Ironmans in 11 months and you do all of them pretty freaking hard, you are just relinquished to mediocrity. And that's what I was. And so, I think I held my own pretty well. I finished, almost last in Coeur d'Alene, but that began the journey. And then I was second in Tri-Battle, second in Copenhagen, second in Chattanooga, second in Florida, second at St. George. So, I know how to do Ironmans. And my passion, most definitely, is Ironmans. Like, when I Googled triathlon, I Googled Ironman in 2009. And a picture of Greg Alexander holding the 2009 Kona banner is literally what inspired me to want to do a triathlon. And Paul Ambrose lapping me in 2010 Ironman Louisville and winning, he won the pro race there. That is what inspired me to say, wow, that is amazing. I wonder if I could be a pro. So my passion most definitely is at Ironman. And I have been so discouraged this last Kona. I had the highest of highs in St. George, coming off the bike next to Christian Blumenfeld and finishing second. And then the lowest of lows in Kona, walking at mile 9 for 17 miles in Kona, all in the same season. I've had them both. And I think I got greatly discouraged and gave up on my dream. But my dream still deep down inside is the Kona. So this is the rock and the hard place, I guess. So I guess I am in a rock and a hard place. And it's a tough decision for sure, because I don't have a lot of time to mess around. So when I make this decision, you know, you've got to be all in on the decision, because I don't have time to mess around and there's no capacity to turn back. This is the decision. And for the most part, the way this is going to work now, the way this new PTO series is going to work, is if you don't do the series this year, it's going to be tough to get in it at any other point. You know, I'd say the only way you get into it at any other point is if you're a guy like Jan, who, you know, had the world title, and, you know, basically can do whatever he wants, is wanted on the start line of any race that he's willing to go to. So that would be like really the only way a guy like myself could even get back onto that series, not participating in this first year. So it is a huge decision to do the Ironman over the PTO series. So this is reality. This is what we're in, and you know, we're focused on trying to find what the best, you know, scenario is. I don't really know the answer. I know one thing that I think I've learned over the years is, you know, motivation is a huge piece of the puzzle, and so you really need to have your motivation right. So, you know, that's something I really have to think about. What would be my motivation doing the PTO series? My motivation would be personal improvement, personal development. What would be my motivation for doing the Ironman series? It would be to achieve my life dream and to continue to pursue that and to set an example for my little boy to not give up on your dreams, even if it seems like all the doors have shut. You know, and I would rather try. I don't believe I've given everything I have and everything I've learned towards the Kona dream. And so then I would truly have just given up on that before I failed. You know, I have failed, but not having given it my all. And so that is a failure. A success is having given it your all and failed still. Well, I think we're making this video because it's a fascinating time. This is not something that's ever occurred. You know, 10 years ago, had you asked me, hey, we'll guarantee you money to do triathlons, or we cannot guarantee you money and you can do these triathlons, I think that would have been pretty, I wouldn't even have the thought of that, because I'd be like, well, I need to make money first and foremost so that I can keep doing triathlons. So I'd be like, which one's giving me money? Because that's reality, right? Reality is it's an expensive sport, and you know, these Airbnbs and stuff. I don't care how frugal you are. You know, you're dropping $500-600 on a flight and $1,000 to go to every race in a hotel, etc. If you want to do a good job. So there's really no way you can do this without making a decent amount of money. And so if someone was willing to sign up and give you some just to commit to doing the races, and then you have the capacity to make more, I wouldn't even need to have think of this. But now I'm running out of time, and now I have to think about when this is done, which it is going to be done in the not so distant future. What am I going to look back on, and what am I going to, you know, wish if I didn't do it how I wanted? What am I going to say to myself? Dang, I wished you had done whatever. I have to think like that, so that I can maximize every minute, every second that I have left. So we're making a video about this because this is the reality. And there are other guys in this situation right now as well. And there are other guys who are like, oh, this is a no-brainer. I'm 24 years old. Someone's willing to give me free money. Not free money, you're going to work hard for it, but you know what I mean. Guaranteed money. And it's a no-brainer for them, you know. I think it just highlights, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have right now. And this problem to have has never existed in our sport. And that means that the value of pros is going up, and people are seeing our worth. The organizers are seeing our worth. Investors are seeing our worth, seeing that we have a great sport and a viable professional sport, and they're cultivating that. And so it's a wonderful time to be a long distance or middle distance triathlete. Yeah, so I'm curious to hear what you guys think. You know, if you were in a situation, 36-year-old, you know, not too much time left, have opportunities to go either direction, I'd be curious to know what you would think, what you would do. And so let us know in the comments below what you guys would do in this situation.